Hi, my name is Adrian Valentine. Today I want to talk about Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. Alright, let's talk. This novel begins with an old man sitting on a plane, Toru Watanabe. He's listening to the Beatles song Norwegian Wood, and this triggers a lot of nostalgia for him. Memories of past sweethearts that had affected him greatly when he was younger. And that's what this novel is about, Toru's young adulthood. Toru's story begins at the end of high school from when his best friend commits suicide. Subsequently after that event, Toru moves from the Kansai area of Japan to Tokyo. He begins to study at Tokyo University during a time of political unrest and student riots. But Toru's not too worried about any of that, he's simply trying to refresh himself and get away from the bad stuff that happened back home. His best friend had a girlfriend at the time of the suicide. The three of them would always hang out together, which is a trope I've noticed in a lot of Japanese fiction, which creates a lot of predictable scenarios. Two men, one woman. One man falls into a position of admiring from afar, maybe at most gaining respect from the girl but never really fully receiving her love. Ultimately, this trope centralizes on the male characters, using the female characters solely as a reference point to how honorable and respectable the men characters are. Which leads me to the main problem with Murakami's literature, and that's that the female characters are not developed enough. They are always dependent on the male characters to be introduced, to be given purpose, to be given fulfillment. This is actually a conversation I've had with many Japanese women, and they seem to share in my frustration. The story ends up being boiled down to something very cliche. It is a young adult novel. It is like the ones you have read before. It does veer off a little bit, at times surprising you, especially with the poetic language and the events that occur that you might not understand due to cultural differences, which is great. It's a great insight into what it might have been like to be a Japanese young adult growing up in that time. There are moments that draw out great emotional reactions, especially due to the poetry of the language that is used, and this is a translation, so I'm sure it's that much more impactful in the original Japanese, especially the musical allusions that are often presented. If you listen to the songs that are mentioned while reading this novel, it goes together really well. So overall, I'll give this book a 3 out of 5. If you enjoyed this review and would like to see more like it, I do have a website as well, avvalentine.com. Please check it out for more book reviews, travel blogs, and short stories. What did you think about this novel? Please let me know in the comments below. Did you relate to Toru? Did you think this book was more interesting than I'm making it out to be? Let's talk. Alright, good talk.